should Fury Joshua be the biggest matchup in all of combat sports?
Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Absolutely not. I like the fight. It's a big fight. I appreciate it because I think Anthony Joshua can box and punch, and we all know Fury is the best boxer in the heavyweight division. I don't think there's any debate in that. He's the best boxer in the heavyweight division, but I question his punching power. Yeah, you can beat up people when you're 40 pounds heavier than them. That wouldn't be the case with Anthony Joshua, even though I question his chin, but we shall see.
But I not understand why people say, hey, it's Joshua, it's 0, blah, 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 blah. Usyk like this, Usyk like this. For me, myself, doesn't matter, you know? Doesn't matter. Maybe for another people, it's problem. You know, we people sometimes shoot in people, but words.
I understand.
Yes, you know.
Yes.
Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury is the fight everyone still demands. But after Joshua's latest scare, Stephen A. Smith has put cold water, insisting the blockbuster showdown has already lost its magic.
Joshua's got a deep resume and he can punch.
He can punch.
This is the best fight that is being made in combat sports right now.
He can punch, but he lost to Andy Ruiz, who's pretty damn good. He's very good. Now, I don't like how he looked, but he's pretty damn good, okay? And I wish him nothing but the best because he can really, really fight. But let me say this to you. You know, we point this out. I got opposition, and I'm glad that I got them. Glad we're touching on this, Max Kellerman, because I actually want to come on Max and Boxing to talk to you about what I'm about to bring up.
Let's do it.
Anytime. I'll come on anytime. You know that. Here's my problem.
On the other hand, Max Kellerman remains firm in his belief that this is the perfect moment to finally make Joshua versus Fury happen before the opportunity disappears.
If Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury,
then let's see Joshua and Fury.
And Wilder.
Well, here's the thing.
And Wilder, though. I think that Wilder should get the winner.
Don't look too much at the contracts because, look, Deontay Wilder has to be getting paid to step aside. And when you get step aside money, when you're next with a contract, it ain't $100 grand. It's $5-10 million.
With Joshua's performance against Prenga, especially the shocking first-round knockdown, a growing number of voices believe Fury versus Joshua happening now would be a terrible decision.
I'm gutted because we can always say this fight should have 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, but it's not. It's done. You have to forget about this fight. Those two, how they were. We're never going to see how they'd have gone on at the peaks. The question is, who's going to win now in the condition they're both at now? And the problem is, you look at, up to this weekend, I was still like, I'm going to be excited about the fight. Once it's signed, once it's announced, I'll be excited about it. But now, I'll be honest with you, I'm like, do you know if the fight doesn't happen now, I won't be too disappointed because I look at and I think it's going to be sad.
Carl Frock believes Joshua's chin and punch resistance have faded, arguing that after months of training, getting dropped by such a small uppercut raises serious concerns.
A lot of the people around him that have blown smoke up his arse, that are desperate for this fight to happen with him and AJ, him and Fury, and want AJ to go on and become undisputed heavyweight champion 2027. I think it was Usyk that said it, and Eddie Hearn obviously agrees with him. They're looking at round 2 and saying, oh, look at what you did in round 2. Oh, you climbed off the canvas in round 1, you come back and you did that in round 2. I'm not focusing on round 2. I'm focusing on what went wrong in round 1. What happened there? He came out, he was a little bit unsure of himself. Okay, fine. But he's fit and strong, he's trained for however many weeks, months, and he's got half a shot on the chin. Once the resistance has gone, the punch resistance, it's game over, it's career over. We've seen it with Amir Khan, we've seen it with fighters over the years, top fighters, better fighters than Anthony Joshua.
Frosh also took aim at Tony Bellew, rejecting the Prince Nassim Hamed comparison and insisting Joshua's repeated knockdowns in recent fights make the situations completely different.
But fighters' chins go, and when they're gone, there's no coming back. And AJ can't take a punch. The only caveat to that is fighting Tyson Fury, who also looked pretty shocking, didn't he? He looked pretty terrible. But we'll get to him in a minute. But back to Eddie Hearn and people like Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew's my mate, but he's telling me why ain't anyone having a go at Nassim Hamed when he climbs off the canvas in round 1 against Kevin Kelly. Come on, you can't compare Nassim Hamed and Kevin Kelly to Anthony Joshua and Prenga. You just can't. It's a different fucking stratosphere. It's not even in the same ballpark. It's a different sport. This what Anthony Joshua did and the way he got dropped in round 1 and manhandled and bullied after everything he's been through. Don't forget, he's been down about 6 or 7 times in his last 2 meaningful fights. Dubois dropped him. Dubois world class. Obviously, the fake Paul fight, forget that. And now this fight, he's been down again 2 or 3 times.
On the other hand, Alexander Usyk dismissed critics like Frosh as haters, saying their comments only create motivation and advising Joshua not to pay much attention to them.
We, athletes, people who live in good life, doesn't matter. Comments, haters. For me, haters, it's motivation. You know, maybe and other people it's not. I say, AJ, listen. If you read information, I say anything. My team, anyone people. Leave.
Joshua reads everything though. He watches all the interviews. He watches.
Oh, it's problem. It's
Yeah.
if you want look, no problem. You watch us, but doesn't matter when comments blah 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 blah. For me.
As opposition to Fury against Joshua continues to grow, Usyk explained why he still wants the fight to happen while addressing the wave of criticism surrounding it.
Are you happy for the Fury fight still to happen? Because some people are saying maybe it's not good after this and Dubois and whatever. You think it's still good? Because they're saying the same about you as well.
You know,
same people.
Listen, fighters sometimes have bad night.
Yes.
Yeah, it's people have bad night. I don't know, soccer player.
Fury and Ganu. After
Yes,
then
yes.
he gave you a hard fight.
Yes, listen, it's sometimes you put down, wake up and jump.
Very true.
It's life.
As for Tony Bellew, he completely rejected the claim that Joshua no longer has a chin. Bellew argued that the performance against Prenga actually proved the opposite. According to him, every time Joshua has been knocked down, he has found a way back into the fight and delivered when it mattered most. For Bellew, that resilience shows Joshua's chin remains one of his greatest strengths, not his biggest weakness.
Question AJ's chin.
No, do you understand that when he's got it rock solid, it's not that. Do you understand that? How can you question someone's chin when he's never been starched and he's never been flatlined? He always gets up. Even against
That's what he said, to be fair.
Even against Daniel Dubois, he always gets up. Once again, don't quote that gobshiter to me. He's an ass of the highest order. Anyone who works for that rag, I'd never speak about him. So we're gonna have to change the quote about you. You're gonna have to ask me that question. He's. People are seeing something on social media and they were saying, oh, his chin, or he's short, or he's this, or he's that. The fact that he gets up shows you there's absolutely nothing wrong with his chin.
Hall of Fame trainer Teddy Atlas offered a different perspective. He admitted Joshua still has technical habits that need correcting, but refused to buy into the weak chin narrative. Atlas argued the uppercut landed because Joshua never saw it coming, so he believes that punch proves nothing about his chin. He also pointed to Prenga's struggles with Joshua's power, questioning whether the challenger truly had enough in his arsenal.
Joshua still has habits that have not been corrected. The main thing people are going to want me to hear, want to hear me say is that his chin ain't that great. But he didn't see that uppercut. So I'm not going to go there too quick. He didn't, and again, he's a big guy. Prenga's a big 6'4", 6'5" guy. He's almost as big as Joshua. You know, you got that kind of size. You can punch. I just didn't think, I hadn't seen any proof that he was a great puncher in a consistent manner. I mean, you land a perfect uppercut. Okay, we're gonna say he's a big puncher now. But after that, we didn't see quite proof of that. But again, he did hurt him. You know, he did hurt him a couple more times. He did get 2 knockdowns in that round. He came close to a third. Maybe it should have been a third. Maybe the fight should have been over.
While doubts about the fight keep growing, others see opportunity instead. Dillian White believes watching Prenga trouble Joshua proved he still has plenty left to offer. That performance convinced him he can beat Prenga and reminded him that he still belongs in the heavyweight conversation. Now White is looking for the right fight to test himself and show exactly how much he still has left in the tank.
Because seeing that fight has made me realize, you know, I still got a lot left in me. You know, I believe I can beat Christian Prenga. I believe You know, I can do it. I should. You know what's funny? I tried to fight Christian Prenga when Fabio Wardley fought Justice Uni. I was gonna jump on the card as a last-minute replacement, but when Christian Prenga was one of the one who wanted to fight, he didn't want to fight. Then I went to Nelson Oza. They didn't know, both of them went. I went to fight the number 1 and number 2 in Albania. Didn't happen. So I was shocked that AJ was fighting him. And he done that to AJ. So I was like, oh damn. You know, I still believe that I got a lot of good fights left in me. A couple more good fights left in me. I win in fights as well. I still believe I can challenge for the title again.
However the fight ended, attention has quickly shifted back to Fury against Joshua, while Prenga's manager is left heartbroken by the result. He believes Prenga proved his true ability on the biggest stage against an opponent of Joshua's caliber, but after failing to secure the victory and watching events slip away, he admitted the outcome was deeply disappointing despite taking pride in the performance.
Absolutely. I said from the beginning when I signed this contract 3 months ago, we were going to shock the world. And indeed, we did shock the world because we showed Christian Prenga has strength and power and boxing talent far beyond what anybody anticipated. But we didn't get the outcome that we had hoped for, and that's unfortunate. You don't know how much it pains me to sit here listening to you guys talking about Fury AJ. It's breaking my soul here today.
Rejecting the conspiracy theories surrounding Prenga, Keith Sullivan revealed what he says is the real reason behind the defeat. According to him, fans deserve to know what actually happened. Sullivan explained that Prenga had not sparred for a long period before facing Joshua because of a family illness, leaving him far from ideally prepared for such a massive fight.
He didn't spar or train for 2 weeks before he got to Jeddah. He had 102 fever, and he was in bed for 8 days straight. We brought a doctor into camp. He moved camp over to Dubai. So he brought a doctor in, drew some blood to make sure there wasn't something more serious going on. And they said he was just run down, and they thought it was a flu or a cold or something, and he would get over it. And it took 14 days. So we had the last 7 days before we went to Jeddah for training. We had a sparring partner there in Dubai who we didn't use at all because he just had we couldn't get him out of bed to go for a walk. In the first round, he came out and just gassed himself out.
Revealing even more, Sullivan explained that as soon as the second round began, Prenga stopped following the instructions from his corner. He told Sullivan he felt like he was back in the hospital bed he had only recently left. In his view, Prenga was physically inside the ring with Joshua, but mentally he was still battling the effects of that difficult period.
The instructions in the corner for the second round were continue what you're doing, keep the pressure on, keep pumping the jab, and when you have the opportunities, take them. Christian stood up off the stool to start that when that bell rang for the second round, and he said to me he felt like he was back in that bed that he was in for 8 days when he was gasping for air and had no energy. He was stunned what happened to him, like in an instant. He said it all came right back to him. And the lack of training, the lack of cardio that he wasn't able to do in the 3 weeks leading up to him, they caught him right at that moment. So in his head, he kind of changed the game plan from what he was instructed to do. He said to himself, I've got AJ's number. I've knocked him down 3 times. I don't care what anybody says. It was 3 knockdowns. Those ropes held him up. Absolutely.
Now the biggest question remains whether Joshua should still face Fury. While Prenga exposed several flaws, Joshua's trainer Sergey Lapin admitted there were worrying moments during the fight. Lapin revealed he was concerned after the early scare and believes the team still needs more time to correct Joshua's mistakes before taking on an opponent of Fury's level.
If good comeback,
Were you worried?
Yes, of course I worried. Means this, in we see in AJ is good. Like Pren-ga, good puncher, yes, strong guy. We see. We need more time.
Speaking about the highly anticipated clash, Dave Coldwell believes Fury against Joshua would still be entertaining because of the names involved, but not with the same excitement as in their prime. He feels both men are no longer willing to trade punches the way they once did, and after their recent warm-up performances, expectations for the fight have naturally dropped across the boxing world.
What it's going to be, don't get me wrong, it'll be an entertaining fight because both fighters aren't what they were. Even Fury, defensively, sharpness, legs, they're not the same as what they were. Reactions not the same as what they are. So I think it's going to make for a really exciting fight for however long it lasts. It might be a quick night. It might be very, very quick, but it's going to be exciting for however it lasts. But it's going to be sad because you're going to look at them and they're going to be 2 guys that aren't anywhere near what they were at their best.
As the questions continue to surround both fighters, Coldwell also revisited Joshua's punch resistance and defense. He noted that many expected major defensive improvements after Joshua teamed up with Usyk's camp, yet those changes have not fully appeared. Usyk is known for his elite defense and ability to avoid clean shots, but Joshua still got caught by a simple uppercut, raising fresh concerns about how much progress has really been made.
Usyk said, listen, we've had fighters in the past that aren't, didn't have great chins, but then they learned to protect the chin, don't give the target. But obviously, this has been an issue that everyone that's worked with AJ knows that he hasn't ever had the best punch resistance. He will go over. So they'll have obviously been looking at ways to protect that chin. Now, you're with Usyk's camp, and along with Usyk, that defensive capabilities, that you're not getting hit, the hit and don't get hit, there's not many better out there right now. So obviously for the last few months they've been working on that, but it took 10-15 seconds for him to get hit with an uppercut, not a right hand, an uppercut, so maybe with at this stage it is at now, and the stage that both of them at now, like I said, I don't believe that Fury's got the same resistance as what he once had.
Even if the fight happens, Paulie Malignaggi believes Fury would overwhelm Joshua with little trouble. He argues Joshua no longer has enough left to handle Fury's movement, timing, and pressure. Malignaggi expects Fury's punches to do serious damage and believes the contest could be over within the opening couple of rounds if Joshua cannot cope with the early exchanges.
How does Fury not win this fight? I mean, Joshua again, is not taking the best punch. At one time he was one of the best fighters in the world and one of the more exciting fighters in the world. But at this moment, it's not even. I'm not even mentioning in a talented heavyweight division. That doesn't even matter. I don't think the winner of Fury and Joshua even winds up being a contender for the heavyweight division. Even though I feel that the winner should be forced to fight one of these young guys, so there could be a passing of the torch the way it's supposed to happen. I don't think that's going to happen because, again, modern boxing doesn't do that. But is Joshua able to make the Fury fight competitive at this point in you guys' mind? I'm not quite sure. He can go in many rounds. I'm not quite sure he'll even be able to take a big shot from Fury, who's not the biggest heavyweight puncher.
Despite the criticism, support for the fight has not disappeared. Ariel Helwani argues the matchup is now even more intriguing because Joshua's recent knockdown has created real uncertainty, including the possibility that Fury could stop him. While some believe it would be an entertaining spectacle rather than a high-caliber contest, they still expect plenty of drama despite both fighters being past their athletic peak.
I got some texts from people outside like, I'm less excited now. I'm like, what are you talking about? If anything, I'm more excited because AJ just almost got knocked out, which leads me to believe that maybe he's at the end of the road and maybe he may get knocked out as well. Like, there is nothing that suggests to me that this is going to be a boring fight, that it's going to be a glorified sparring session.
I'm less excited.
You're less excited.
They've both clearly shown that they are not high-level fighters anymore.
What? Wait, but doesn't that make it a good matchup?
It makes it more fun. It doesn't make it a good fight.
Okay, tell me, GC.
I think it will be an exciting fight. I think the fact that, AJ's chin has been tested. We've seen it. He's been knocked down several times in recent fights.
Speaking on why the fight has lost some excitement, Connor Burks believes the name value is still massive, but the recent performances have raised real concerns. He points to Joshua being dropped twice by Prenga, while Fury needed 7 rounds to stop an opponent ranked around 260 in the heavyweight division. In Burke's view, those displays have lowered expectations for what was once boxing's biggest dream fight.
Tyson Fury is going to come out. I think there's a chance that either of them get knocked out. AJ has that massive power. But to your point about the expiration date of it, both of them, the performances this weekend, getting knocked down twice by Christian Prenga in the first round, and then the fact that Tyson Fury took 7 rounds to finish off Mariusz Szwak, like the 260th ranked heavyweight in the world who's 6-11 in his last 17, shows that they're not anywhere near the peak of their powers, which makes me less excited.
I'm totally here for the pageantry. I've been the one on the corner of,
so good.
Even if they lose, that people are going to turn up for this fight. I've been saying that all along. I don't think that there is any less general appetite for this. There will be lots of people watching, but for the product itself, yes, like they look shop worn.
The criticism is loud, but so is the curiosity about what happens next. On the boxing stage, Fury against Joshua has been promoted for years, and Ad Oladipo believes the world could hear major news soon. Mentioning Turkey Al-Sheikh's recent tweet, he suggested the venue remains the final obstacle, and the next update could reveal where and when this long-awaited fight will finally take place.
I guess we'll find out in a few days, right? In a few days' time, I think Turkey tweeted or put something on his Instagram, he'll have a special announcement about this fight. There clearly is a big problem. And the biggest problem isn't about AJ, whether or not he's ready and whether or not he should take the fight. The biggest problem is about where this fight takes place. That's the biggest problem. Like, I was lucky enough on the, I think it might have been the press conference day or the weigh-in day. I'm going to say press conference day when Eddie joined us. And Eddie kind of just said, look, I want it here in the UK. We signed the contract for the UK. If it's not in the UK, then they have to bring us another contract. Tony Bellew then responded, basically saying that has to be in the UK. It was a fantastic back and forth between those two. I agree wholeheartedly with Tony Bellew. It has to be in the UK.
All eyes remain on the fight, with questions and concerns surrounding both heavyweights. However, fans still want to see Joshua against Fury. Aid believes this matchup is the most important one because it could stop Joshua's decline and help rebuild the recognition he has lost. He also says people should remember Joshua's comeback after the first round against Prenga, showing a kill or be killed mindset that could excite fans against Fury.
Federer and Nadal. But it's just impossible. So why should we expect someone that gets hit in the head for a living to be at their prime at 36? Obviously he's on a decline. The hope is that he can somehow stretch this decline so it just doesn't drop off like that. You know what I mean? Like, your hope is that the drop off is small. It's small. Usyk's a great example. The drop off has been small. Even Usyk isn't what he once was. You're hoping that it's not like that. And that first round showed the drop off like that. Obviously he was able to overcome it and give us something a bit more, but you're hoping the drop off is steady with AJ. Steady enough so you can still be in big fights. What we saw in the first round would suggest that isn't the case. What we saw in the second round would suggest that if I'm AJ, it's kill or be killed from now on. It's kill or be killed. I've got to get to you before you get to me.
Joshua versus Fury remains one of boxing's biggest unanswered questions. But after Prenga exposed new doubts, the pressure has never been higher. Will this become a career-defining comeback or a final warning sign for both legends? Share your prediction below and subscribe for more boxing stories, breaking updates, and analysis from inside the ring.